for coming. I'm just really thankful that you all can be here, and it's going to be a really special time. Less than 24 hours we're going to have together, and so I know some of you have really been warriors on the road trying to get here, and so that is just really, really great. I want to go over real quick the contents that are in your bag. So you have T-shirts, and hopefully we can wear them tomorrow and get a picture. And just double check the size that you ordered, make sure it's, you're getting what you ordered. I think I have everything right, but I just want to make sure. You might want to check that right before you leave. And then there's also the shaker cup, and there's a notebook in there that you can use if you want to for notes during the sessions. And then we'll talk about that more in just a little bit, but how to make that really work. But I thought it would be really fun to go around and introduce yourselves, because not everybody knows everybody. I think you've kind of met a little bit, but we'd just love for you to say where you're from, what it took to get here, like if you had to get off work, if you had to take care of little ones or whatever, and then why you decided to come. And so anyway, yes.
Can I go first so I can get food?
Yes, I know you've been talking, so you may definitely go first.
Okay, I don't mean to be selfish.
No, you're not. Somebody's got to be first, right?
Okay, sure.
I did, but I don't think you need them yet. Go ahead.
All right, so hi everybody, my name is Aleida, and at one time, my name is from a Hispanic origin, and it's not very common even in Hispanic countries. And so one time a guy told me, so like a lady, but Aleida. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Because I've been called Elena, Alida, so many things, but Aleida because of the spelling of my name. But so nice to meet you. And I am originally from Honduras, and my husband and I came 19 years ago to do seminary and do seminary and go back to Honduras, and God had different plans for us. So now we, through New Orleans and Fort Worth, we are now in Illinois, and my husband is a pastor, and we have had the privilege of, being there serving for 14 years now in Effingham. And that's how I got started, through these wonderful ladies here that we knew through ministry. And I decided to come here today because this is a way to continue to grow in the Youth Plus world, and to stay connected, and to just to learn. And I enjoy the people that live here, and my children go to Cedarville. And so I had so many reasons to be here, and I'm just so thankful. We are going through a very, very difficult time as a family, as my brother-in-law is fighting for his life in Honduras, and my husband is there right now. So I didn't know what the whole trip was gonna end up being, but I'm just so thankful to be here.
Mm-hmm. And Amelia got to get out of school an hour early, so
and,
she could come.
And actually, things changed. I wasn't aware in the beginning of the week, and I just decided to leave it at that. She didn't have school.
Nice.
And so, yeah, we just got delayed a little bit because we had a meeting in the morning, and then a very, very good Just Plus meeting. And so,
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, thank you for letting me go first.
Yeah. Going first. I appreciate it. Yeah.
No, I had that same thing. I was like, maybe because I came a little late, like, let me just get me out the way. My name is Stephen Coleman, from originally New Jersey, but I moved to Ohio.
Oh my goodness.
At like 7, so I'm from here. Met this young lady a while back, like July, June, and she just was telling me about Juice Plus. Like, I'm just like, I'm just now getting into my health now. Like, I've been 4 days vegetarian and trying to drink more water and, studying, reading. But yeah, the Juice Plus, everything about it was like, I can get on board, you know, and I'm into sales, so I'm trying to think of two different ways, you know, for myself and financial gain.
All right.
So, yeah, nice to meet all of you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, too. That's great.
I guess I'll just go ahead and put it right there.
Hi, everyone. I'm Danielle. It's nice to meet everyone here. What pretty much brought me to Juice Plus was a mutual friend who knows, who knows, a mutual friend who knows, Miss, I'm so sorry, Miss Chris. Yes. So, basically, I was in a situation in my life where I was struck with cancer, and I basically just had so many thoughts of how I wanted to treat it. And me and my father at the same time, you know, he had to take the route of chemo and radiation, which it ended a different way. And I did not want to do that. So it pretty much made me latch on to the Juice Plus life. And I pretty much had my, a follow-up appointment. They told me I have no malignant cells. So I know first off how Juice Plus is the truth. So that's why I'm here, and wouldn't make any excuses not to be.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you. That's really cool. Really cool. Go ahead. You want to go next? You wanna jump
I'm
in?
here because I live here.
Good.
Yeah, I think Juice Plus really does make a lot of sense. I mean, there's an FDA nutrition label. It's not a supplement. And the research, you know, is done by major research institutions, which I think gives it credibility, separates it from all the other stuff that's out there. And I think there's great opportunity business-wise as well.
Very cool. Very cool. Does anybody out in the kitchen want to say something before you leave? Antonio?
Oh, they already left, he's there.
So you don't have to go, Bella?
No.
Oh, I didn't know you got to stay. Wow, good deal.
Here's the long room.
Good. Do you want to introduce yourself? I didn't make you a name tag. I think you're gonna stay. Oh, yeah, you have one.
I can see. Well, my name is Isabella. I was gonna say your name, but I was debating on whether or not I should. So this is my mom.
That's the best thing.
And I've known Juice Plus ever since we were very young kids. Like, I have vivid memories of going over to Miss Mickey's house, and while she was having meetings, we would be in another room playing games or just watching the videos with them, trying out the dummies. Maybe having too many. But I am currently a sophomore over here at Cedarville. So I'm very excited to have my family here visiting for the weekend, and glad to be a part of this as well.
Awesome. Awesome. And Amelia, do you want to say anything while we're right there? Sure.
I'm Amelia. I'm her little sister and her daughter. Yeah, I mean, same with her. I mean, because I'm like 3 years younger, I've basically known Juice Plus like all my life. It's kind of always just been there. So honestly, whenever my mom started introducing it to other people, I thought it was kind of strange because it's never been a new thing for me. It's always just kind of been in my house or something. So I just think it's really cool what she's doing. I'm just a junior in high school at Effingham, where we live in Illinois.
I'm really glad you can be here. And Katie, why don't you go next and you go get your tea?
Oh, yes. Can everyone see me? I am Katie. I'll let my husband introduce himself after me. But I have known the Reeps since I was in college, because I went to Cedarville University. And actually, I lived in Cedarville since I was 7. And then I got introduced to Juice Plus, I think, my junior-ish year. I came over to Chris's house for something, I think. And then I was dating my husband at the time, and he graciously sponsored me. So I got it for 4 years for free. That's the best thing ever. So I did that for 2 years in college, and then 2 years after, I think I got pregnant a year after that, but I still kept taking it. I may have kind of like dialed it back a little bit before I had got pregnant. But especially once I was pregnant with our first one, I desperately wanted to give my baby the best that I could. And I was a little like leery of all the other supplements, and I think I took a prenatal at one point for like, you know, a couple days, a month or something, was like, yeah, no thanks. So this is my third Juice Plus baby. Yay. And it's one of the things that's really kept me on the Juice Plus train, because I just haven't seen anything that's better for my body and my babies. So yeah.
So they have two little girls that they left with a friend,
Yes.
so they could come over.
And we're here because it's so close.
Yes.
And it's free. She's feeding us and all.
There are no excuses. There you go. Right cooking is always a good deal. It's good to get her. It's the
Worked
best,
out so great.
it's the best conference you'll ever have. Glad you could be here. That's really tickled. Go ahead, John.
Okay, yeah, any night out is good. I'm John, and I've known actually the Reeps since they moved to town back in 25 years ago. So grew up with the boys in church and stuff like that. So so I too kind of known of Juice Plus and been around it a little bit for a long time. So, and then it was a good opportunity for me to help Katie and stuff back when we were dating, and then through her schooling, and so we kind of like this, and then recently like had the chance to kind of more actually be more intentional and join. And so she's kind of the runs point for us, and so I'm more like hopefully supportive of her. And so I've never had any definitely never had any issues with the ideas of Juice Plus. It's like it's an irrefutable kind of thing where it's just like, well, it's fruits and vegetables, yeah. So it's like it's a pretty cut and dry situation. So and then you go from there to research and things like that. So yeah, but yeah, so happy to be here. Mostly, frankly, because it's a great chance to have a night out. So,
Remember that. Remember those days.
Yeah, they're not as often as they used to be. So.
Firefighters finish.
Yeah.
4 years old and 2 years old is a lot.
But it's
Lot of
great.
work.
Yeah, it's great to meet you.
Yeah, we're glad. We're really glad to have you guys. So very glad. Yeah. So Partner Plus, Danielle's Partner Plus, and the latest sales coordinator, and Lisa.
Guess I'm up.
You're up.
So I'm Lisa, and I'm from Maine, and Cindy is my sponsor, and I met her probably 7 years ago through her son, who was a youth pastor. And she told me about it, and honestly, I just didn't have time because I was in school, and I knew I had promised not to add anything to my life. My husband was always telling me, babe, can you do one more thing? So I don't know. I just know Cindy was awesome about keeping in contact with me, and I don't know. When I finished school, I'm like, just called her and said, yeah, I'm ready, and it happened to be the same time as the Blitz, so it just made sense. So for me, and I don't know, didn't think too much to get here. Cindy was generous and gave me some frequent flyer miles. And then these guys are generous and let me stay with them, and they picked me up. So I mean, what else could I? The only sad thing is my dog's at home mad at me right now. So, and I guess he broke into the house again and left the door open this morning. So Anyway, yes, we are glad to have you. I'm really glad to have you here, for sure.
Mickey or Cindy, whichever one wants to go
Cindy.
next.
Cindy's
Yeah, I'll
kind of
go
covered that
first.
order,
I'm
yeah.
Cindy Dice. I think I have met everybody just as we've been greeting, but I live in Southern Illinois, a couple hours east of St. Louis, and I'm here because 10 years ago this month, my daughter had a conversation with Chris. Chris was leading the Bible study for her tennis team at Cedarville. And my daughter called me one day and she said, Mom, I met this lady just like you. She has 5 boys and you have 4 boys and a girl. She homeschools, you homeschool, and she takes Juice Plus and you juice. And I told her she could call you anytime. And so that's why I'm here, because Chris was bold enough to do that. And I was not an easy sell, or and I certainly didn't want to share it with other people. And anyway, but it's been a wonderful journey. And even though this is a virtual conference, I haven't missed a conference since 2011, and they have 2 a year, and it's just always a special, educational, informative time. But the best part is the people.
Yeah, it's really special.
Yeah. Do I get to come back? Because I forgot to say that part. And I knew from when Cindy first told me about Juice Plus and the conferences that I was coming to the first conference, no matter what. And so I kept saying I was going to do that. And now, so it's really exciting because I keep seeing everyone on Zoom and haven't had an opportunity to meet anyone. So for me, it was awesome opportunity to meet people in person.
Yeah, that is a lot. That is a lot. Mickey.
Yeah, I'm Mickey Ward, and Cindy and I live in the same community and have been friends since 1984 when my husband, we moved from Texas to Salem to pastor the church where they went. And so Danielle, I kind of resonate with you because when Cindy called to tell me about Juice Plus, I was going through a year of chemotherapy. I had an aggressive form of cancer and was on chemotherapy. And when I started that, I really knew, because Cindy at one point, Cindy is she's my advisor and stuff. And Cindy's always been so health conscious and giving good advice. And when we started juicing some things, but took new jobs, moved, just kind of went by the wayside because that is very difficult to keep up with. So when I was diagnosed with cancer, I thought, boy, I need to be juicing. But that time I was not going to be able to do it. My husband would do it for me, but then there was no way I was just going to be able to, do the juice, drink the juice. And so probably Cindy started with this. You said October. I think she called me perhaps in January, telling me about Juice Plus. And I'm just going to have to say, I love when people say, boy, that makes sense to me, because it did not make sense to me. Because in my mind's eye, I was picturing a capsule. And I'm thinking, okay, what I'm going through, how is the contents of this little capsule going to really do it, the good that I need in my body, although anything. But I was home because my immune system was gone. It was kind of winter. And so, it had been a while since Cindy called me, and I thought, boy, this is unusual. What has she gotten into? Because she's solid and trustworthy. It just sounded strange. But eventually she might have sent me even a brochure in the mail. I don't know. But I looked at it, and one day, I was homebound. So I just got on, the computer and researched it. And literally, I listened to what all the doctors and the nurses had to say, but then I saw the clinical research. You could click into those studies. This has been 9 years ago. I could click in, I could get this, and I could read those studies. And I literally did, because I know Cindy later said, you read all that? And I said, I did. I knew I had to be careful about, what I put in my body. I didn't understand what it could do. But when I read those, it was just a no-brainer. It was just a light bulb went on. And for me, especially the study on DNA, when it can repair and help with DNA, the cancer I had was on a DNA protein that just goes crazy, in your body. And I just immediately thought, I need this. And my husband came home from work and I said, it's this stuff, like somebody says, well, we all talk to people that stuff that Cindy told me. I said, I really need to do this. And he said, well, I do too. My husband has chronic leukemia. So, I mean, it's just been 9 years ago and we've just been able to be blessed with just the results, the things that's done in our bodies, done for us physically and in wellness. I'm considered cured. God was so gracious to me. And that's such a beautiful word, isn't it? Cured. I like that word. And, but anyway, we did the product and Cindy said, well, you can get it at a lower price or you could share it with others. I thought, I am such a skeptic. No, I haven't taken that. I can't do that. And then finally I found myself, probably it was at least maybe about almost a year later. I know it was in August, but I just thought, I'm telling people, I mean, the people I've, gone through chemotherapy with, and you meet so many people, and I thought they need to know about this. So I thought, well, if I'm telling them, it probably would, you might as well get compensated for it as well as doing that. So I went to Cindy's house and said, I'd really like to talk about doing this business now. And it's been a blessing in our lives, so many ways. But the biggest blessing is this. Honestly, it is the community. It is our team. I've never seen anything like it. And like Cindy, I didn't want to sell anything, but this is something everybody needs it. How can you keep it to yourself? How can you, help but tell people? And I've never done anything before. Long years ago, was in another little sales thing just when my husband was going to seminary just to be able to help us. But I mean, that was competitive and you had to be quotas. And I thought, this is something, if somebody knows something works, they tell you because they want it to work for you too. And it's said it's a company with a heart and it's incredible. So it's just been a big blessing.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing. Really, really appreciate that. And there are several, John's recording this, and so on a Zoom call, I'm gonna send it to Stephanie, who couldn't be here. She's not feeling well, and Kay Tucker from Cleveland, she was not able to come because she's not feeling well. And Kendra had to be in Florida because her father-in-law died. So anyway, that's what's going on there. So we're gonna have a share time after the sessions. I want you to bear with me, please trust me. Hello. I am gonna skip through some sessions because of time. And they don't necessarily pertain to all of us exactly at this moment. And so we're gonna hit the highlights tonight and it will be good. So let's get started, and then we are going to have some really special recognition and share time at the end, and hopefully get you all out the door in decent time so that you can come back in the morning, because we've got a full day tomorrow. We'll go over that too at the end. So like I said, you got to trust me on this. I'm going to do the best I can. Okay.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to your Juice Plus Home Edition. Well, the month of October has already been an incredibly exciting month. First, we are taking the opportunity to recognize our 50th year of making a difference. And we thank you, J. Martin. Thank you for your vision, for your wisdom, and for your leadership. You have dramatically impacted
this chair here, and
I just thought I might do that next time.
all four is cozy up on that. Everybody good back there? So I just have to tell you all a little story. I don't know if so for a lot of years I've had this feeling of, I just wonder if anybody's had this feeling of when you do something and then you kind of feel judged. You kind of go home and you feel like, oh, I should have said this, I shouldn't have said that, why did I do this, So if anybody's felt that way, well, I have felt that way a lot. And but I will say, and going from there, just bear with me, but I am super excited about this gathering here tonight. because it was back in May when I first learned that we were not going to have a conference in Indianapolis, 2 hours away, when we didn't have to fly, most of us. That I was just really disappointed. And so I kind of decided that why couldn't we meet here? There's enough people around here. Why couldn't we meet here? And kind of floated the idea, and it was kind of like, I don't know. Because I thought Cindy's going to want to have all her crew in Illinois. She's not going to want to come all the way here, but I really want her to come here because I want us to all be together like we always are at conference. And so I just really asked the Lord to give me a picture of what that could look like. And so, and he did that. And it's just really cool. I mean, you don't know how important those plates were. Down to the plates. I wanted pretty fall plates for the gathering tonight. And so that was part of it. And yeah, I made
Well, I want you to
Please don't
know
go
that
with me. I don't know.
Antonio, the first comment he made was he loved the gold in them. So
Oh,
there
I
you go.
know, they were beautiful, and there's
He noticed.
another story about that someday maybe I'll tell, but so as I was praying over this tonight, and you know what, we have some big things to share, and I'm really super excited and very, very proud of Cindy and her team and everything that's been going on. And so I just asked the Lord, I said, Lord, I need words. I need a vision. I want our team that we can rally around and we can really be together and lock arms. And you know, it's always interesting to me, but when I asked the Lord that, there were three things that came immediately, and I said, okay, Lord, this is from you. This is not me, but I really was asking him, you know, what is your plan for me, for everybody on our team, and what do you want to do in each one of us? And that was my question. And so the first words that he gave me were to know him better, to trust him more, and to be renewed in our minds. And when you think about knowing him better, I think of Paul, of course, when he said that I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering. And knowing him, you know, his love, his holiness, his forgiveness, his goodness, and his faithfulness. I mean, you could go on and on, but just knowing him. And all through my business, because I never intended to have a Juice Plus business. I just wanted to get it for the best price. That's it. But I always said that my business was a visible expression of an invisible God, because I would see him do things that were just like, I didn't do that. I mean, every time I'm done. I'm just done. I'm not going to do this anymore. And then somebody would call up or something crazy would happen. It was like, okay, that wasn't me. So that was the Lord. So I would keep going. But anyway, so know him better and trust him more. And for that one, I thought of Peter. And remember when they were scared to death because they saw somebody out on the water, you know, walking toward them, and they were just scared and they cried out. And the Lord said, it's me, don't worry. And Peter said, well, if it's you, tell me and I'll come to you. You know, can I come to you on the water? And so the Lord said, come. And so instantly Peter, it says he got down out of the ship, and I'm thinking that must have been a decent sized vessel, you know, for him to get down out of the ship. And he did. In that moment, he decided, I'm going to do that. You know, he said to come, I'm going to do it. And so he, in that point of decision, got down out of the boat and walked on the water. And he did walk on the water. He really did. And it was so cool. And he decided to do that. And when you just stop and think about that, it's pretty amazing. You know, now he did get tripped up, and we all think about that, you know, how he did, you know, and God said, oh, but he did actually do it. And you think about us, you think, well, you know, trust him more. you know, what are the times when we walk on water and then we go, oh, wait a minute, I'm really afraid, I really shouldn't be doing that. We start judging ourselves, all that kind of stuff, and then we start going down. And so anyway, so what is that point of decision, and are we willing to take the chance to walk on the water? And then be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And that only happens when you're in the Word. That's the only way to renew our minds, is to know what the Lord is saying to us, and to be humble and to learn from the Lord and all of that. So anyway, that's kind of my story, and that's kind of how we ended up here. But that's my heart for us for this next 6 months, is just to really to know him better and to trust him more and to be renewed in the spirit of our minds. And I'm super excited about what he's going to do as we trust him. So this business has always shocked me, but one day I got this in the mail and I'm going, wow, I didn't do anything. I don't know what this is for. And I opened it up and it said, Juice Plus Company. It's hard to see with this. Anyway, it's congratulating me for being promoted to international marketing director. I've been a national marketing director for eons, it feels like, for 10 years. But anyway, I got or more, I don't know what it is, but I was promoted to international marketing director. And Valerie took a picture of me, and I'm going, well, I didn't really do anything, you know, blah, blah, blah. She goes, yes, you did. Yes, you did. I'll take your picture. I'm going to take your picture. So she took my picture, and I'll send it to y'all. But anyway, and I was waiting for tonight actually to tell you about it. And so it is a big deal. I'm super fired up about it. So then on another crazy day, it was, I think it was right around closing, and I got a call from Tanya Oxley, do you know who she is, and Rusty Armstrong, who's my sponsor. And they said, well, Chris, we just want to let you know that you've been promoted to executive marketing director. I'm going, okay, I didn't really do anything. They said, yes, you did. You are promoted to executive national marketing director. And there's a really nice bonus with that. But to be really clear, most of that work I had done when they made the changeover in the marketing plan. And so the marketing plan, you guys, when they said you get paid more, you do get paid more. It's amazing. And so I kind of was in that mode already when they made that changeover, but I was promoted to executive marketing director. I have a percentage of that title reward coming, and they said they'll get it to me. But Tanya said, actually, Chris, she said, I really wouldn't mess around with this anymore. She said, I would just go for the presidential marketing director. And I think that's a $20,000 title reward. I mean, this money is serious, you guys. It's big time. And so, it's really worth, I mean, the work is like, it's so fun. You don't even know you're working. So it's pretty amazing. But, so that's my new goal. Somebody asked me what my new goal was. It's presidential marketing director. But I will tell you guys something, that I don't care if it's national marketing director, I don't care what it is. Once you get to sales coordinator and above, you have to have a team. You cannot promote by buying product. You can't promote with just customers. You have to have people that you're locking arms with, helping them reach their next title reward. So in other words, what that's saying is, I wouldn't be where I am if it weren't for all of you. I mean, every single one of you, from a partner to a partner plus to on up. I mean, there's no way to do that without a team. And so it's really significant that you all are here, and it just means the world to me, because I see in you where I have been. And so I'm really, really super excited about all of that. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to forget anything, but I just want to bring my dear friend. It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you my brand new senior sales coordinator, Cindy Nice! Oh, I'm so excited. I just want you all to know her a little bit of the way I do, but she is the most steady, consistent. She loves everybody. Everybody knows her. She genuinely is curious about everybody and asks them questions until her curiosity is almost satisfied. She can't keep them forever. And she's just amazing. And the more I work with her, and I just appreciate you so much. And she fills in the blanks for me. She's very detailed and I'm not. And she's very black and white. And I tend to go, oh, but then she calls corporate and they're going, well, you need this, this, and this. And Cindy goes, well, I know that. So anyway, but she has been amazing. And I'm just so thrilled for her to reach this goal because it's been coming. And those little pages that the cards that you're going to write on and give to me Saturday are significant because Cindy's been doing that for several years and very faithfully. And the thing I want to say about her, she always set the goal. She was never afraid to write it down again. And she did it faithfully. She set her goals, but she didn't let those goals destroy her or discourage her. They were just there. And I have let them destroy me and discourage me and like, I'm just not, like I said, I'm just not going to do it. But I've never seen that in Cindy, not for a minute. And so it's just amazing. And it takes people like that to work with you. And she gives me so much hope. I love it when she calls. It's like, oh, good. She needs me. So anyway, but Cindy, I want you to just tell a little bit of your story.
Yeah,
That time.
I will. Not that I have much written down here, but there is a piece of paper that I need to read. So, yeah, well, I shared a little bit earlier just how I had no intention of doing this as a business. I was probably rude to Chris when I said, you know, I want to get it for the best price, but I don't need a job. I'm not looking for a job. I don't like to sell anything. And we live in an economically depressed area and I'm not interested in that.
And she did say about like that.
Yeah. And so she said, you know, do you want to do a call with Harriet, who's one of her leaders and sponsors? And I said, sure. And you know, I don't really know. I guess it was.
And so then I called Harry and I said, I don't know why she wants to do a call with you, but she did. She said yes. So Harry said, well, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So I think God used that conversation just to show me a bigger vision. And really, Harriet said one thing. Besides, she lives in Atlanta, and I threw out the name of one person I know in Atlanta. I said, yeah, I have a friend that lives there, ha ha ha, Atlanta. She said, you know what? They've been my customer for 13 years. And that validated for me the product because I was very skeptical even about the product. I didn't know. And, but Harriet said, you know, I got a postcard in the mail recently from the Billy Graham Association talking about a marketplace ministry. And she said, and I realized that's what I had. And I think those words helped me realize it wasn't, you know, it wasn't about selling something. It was about connecting with people and relationships and serving people and caring for them. And so, you know, within 24 to 48 hours, I felt totally different about doing a business. It was sharing with people who desperately need to know about Juice Plus, the product and the business opportunity. And in today's world, and I've been saying this for years, so it's not just in 2020, but in today's world, people aren't just talking about how to diversify their investments. I mean, that's what they used to talk about, but now they're talking about how to diversify their income because that is a need. And maybe Dewana or somebody spoke to that as well. But anyway, I am really, really excited to have reached this level. And like Chris said, I have been writing down that goal. She always says, what's your conference to conference goal? So I have been writing that down for probably 8 or 9 years. And it really didn't discourage me that I wasn't reaching it, because it's really, life is all about relationships, and it is about connecting with people. And so, so what if I didn't reach that goal? But I'm very excited that I have. And one thing I want to share is just, I heard someone share this recently. And it's called The Purpose of a Goal. And when I heard it, it was on audio, and I was stopping it, writing it so I could get it all down. But this man says, you probably believe that the sole purpose of a goal is to hit the goal. If you believe that, you're defining success or failure by such a narrow margin in your business. If you don't hit a goal, you define it as failure, and you attach your self-worth to that. But the true purpose of a goal isn't to hit the goal. I think Chris has copies of this.
I do have it
Yeah.
now.
It isn't to hit the goal. The purpose of a goal is to help you stretch and grow yourself, pushing past your fears and comfort zone. The true purpose of a goal is who you will become in the process of shooting for that goal. The purpose of a goal is growth. If I set a goal this month, that forces me to start showing up in a way like I've never shown up before, to take action like I've never taken action before, to start believing different things about myself. The moment I take my first step, I'm already becoming a different and better version of myself. So let's define success or failure by this. Did you show up every single day and take a step toward that goal? And I want to introduce you to somebody who did, and that's Lisa. So she showed up. Oh, well, it's okay. She showed up every single day to reach and stretch for that goal. And she was a Blitz partner. And she, like she said earlier, I've been sharing, we've been talking about this for years, but she was ready, and she connected with everybody she knew, and some people she didn't know yet. And she worked tirelessly and fearlessly. And I'll see, I forget what she said near the end. So it was on September 30th that everything, so my title reward for senior sales coordinator is $2,500. And for sales coordinator for Lisa, it's $600. But I get a sponsor bonus for that too. So there was a lot of money left, a lot of money on the table. And not that that's my ultimate goal, but it is a reflection of how many people that we help. And Lisa had a new partner plus, and that lady needed to get 2 orders on the night of September 30th for Lisa to get to sales coordinator and for me to get to senior sales coordinator. 2 little orders that would solidify our promotions. And somebody said something earlier on one of the speakers about how, you don't know what little thing is going to make such a big difference, but those 2 orders made a big difference, and Lisa did not give up. And I am so proud of who she has become in this journey, and just her promotion. And Chris has always said, you can't do this alone, and you get what you want by helping other people get what they want. And that is the truth of this business. So I'm going to leave it to you, Lisa. Congratulations. You have done an amazing job. And 3 words that I like to use. I like little gimmicky things. So she has been patiently and pleasantly persistent.
Yeah.
Not leaving any stone unturned. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. What attracted you to Juice Plus? Okay. Okay, well, I already told earlier, I told Chris that I don't really know what attracted me to Juice Plus. I think it was a God thing because really there's nothing that stands out specifically. I have a lot of God things. Me becoming an OT was nothing. I mean, I'll be 60 this month. And so I never dreamed of going back to school for anything. I already went to school. I already found my husband at school. I already raised my son. I really, that wasn't where I was moving. So honestly, I don't know. I saw the business around the time I started school, getting my prerequisites. I knew I didn't have time for anything else. My husband always keeps me on track when I am doing too much. I finally, we've been married 37 years this week, and honestly, it's taken me a lot of years when he says, babe, that means stop and pause, that I'm doing too much usually. So I knew I finally got to that place that I knew I couldn't do one more thing, and I wasn't going to do that and then I'm not really that nice to live with, just so you know. So I don't know. It was around the time I was taking my boards, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do this. I don't even know what happened. Cindy was just persistent. She fed me tapes, and there would be different things, and she would just shoot me a Facebook message usually, and I hated Facebook Messenger, I'll tell you that. I never used it until then. And then she's like, oh, so say, I think this might be interesting to you, and I love to learn. So quite honestly, she would feed me those things, and I would tell you, keep doing that to people who say no. Ask them, even if they say no, would you mind me sending you something that I think you might be interested in periodically? Because it keeps the door open as much as you don't realize it does. And so that's what she did. And then I don't know, I was taking my boards, and she had sent me something, and that blitz was coming up, and I just was like, yeah, this is the time. I don't even know why, it was just the time. And so quite honestly, I didn't know. I wanted to get someone. I'm like, it's free, I may as well find someone. So I asked my son, he wasn't really sure. But I said, well, buddy, it's free. If you're gonna do it, this is like the best time to do it. And quite honestly, it's just gone from there. I've had a lot of challenges. I won't say it was easy to get here. It was frustrating. Chris stayed up with, Cindy had someone, company or someone. So the night was it.
We were celebrating our 50th wedding anniversary, the night that her deadline for QSC was.
And so fortunate, and it was the nth hour, just so you know. I was like I was like praying all the time. Like, for all this time, I was just kept praying. And these guys kept saying, you can do this. And I'm like, I just kept going, okay, God, this is really not me. This is all about you. And luckily she stayed up, and we just made it by the skin of our teeth. It was late. It was 11 something. It was very close to midnight. And I was bound and determined when I was going for SC that it was not going to be at that. All through school, I did turn papers in at 11:59, and I dislike it every single time. And I worked so hard not to do it, but it kept happening. So this time I was like, oh my God, I do not want to do this again. I hate 11:59. And so my partner plus Janet, she was actually really excited. I didn't expect her to be that excited. I had no idea. There was no one on the plate. She signed up on the 28th of the month. And I kept saying, he kept texting me, you can do this. I've been praying. I'm like, yeah, I've been praying too. And God really laid on my heart some different verses, and some of them is, you can pray all you want, basically, but if you don't believe, you're not getting it. And I kept telling God to help my unbelief, because it was hard. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so there. And so my first goal was really August, that I wanted to be SC, and it didn't come. And I wasn't really discouraged. I was just like, keep going. What do you do? Just keep calling people, doing whatever. So that's kind of where I went with it. And then when Janet, my friend, signed up, she was actually really excited, and more excited than I expected her to. And she almost seemed like she kept getting more excited. And so Cindy was great about just helping out. She's been so awesome through this whole process about just feeding me what I needed at that moment. and just the next step, what to do. And like really, and I told Janet this, really, if you need a tape, let me know and I'll try to get it. Cindy's like the queen. I don't know how she does it in 30 seconds, I swear. Finds the
I've been
right,
doing it for 10 years.
finds the right video that I want to hear or that I need or that I need to pass on to somebody else. So really tag in the upline because she has always fed me. I think you should just send that image. I like that image. So now I think that those couple of images that she sends me, I send to a lot of people. And then Janet, like she called some people and that one was really excited. They were supposed to sign up that night and she actually didn't buy products until just last night or the night before the one time. But Gina's like, I don't know what happened to my friend, but I won't mention her name because God knows she might hear this. She said, I don't know what happened to her. She's fallen off the face of the earth. She must be with her boyfriend. And so I'm kind of laughing. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And I said, well, what about your sister? And I said, she's got kids. I can so see her doing this. She could sign her kids up for free. And if her and her husband do it, they could sign up both kids for free. And she's like, good idea. And so she texted her something. Her sister lives in California, was really busy. And she tells me to call her sister. And so I did. And her sister didn't answer. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's up with it? So I called her again, and then I texted her and I said, so what's a good time? And she's like, well, really, there is no good time. I'm really busy. And I said, well, this isn't going to take very long. Tell me, I can. So I called her and she actually answered the phone. And I said, this can take just a few minutes. I just need a few things from you. And she did. She signed up and she's like, really? That was really quick. And so she was excited. And then I said to her, what about your boyfriend? Does he need something? Because she was only a few, I think like maybe 300 points away or something. I said, doesn't he need anything? She's like, well, I was going to share with him. And I said, well, the heck was sharing with him? What else? And so she did. She's like, well, really, she's like, Jim needs to help his 95-year-old father needs some shakes and stuff. I think we want to get him the shakes. And then they're like, what about the bars? And I said, well, everybody has a favorite. My favorite happens to be the tart cherry, but other people love the chocolate. I'm not a big chocolate fan, but they're good. And so she's like, okay, well, let's get the mix. So she's like, Jim, do you want to get the mix? So really, it was just a matter of not giving up. And it was before 10 o'clock. Okay. So I was never so pumped that I could go. I was really tired at that point. And when I got home, and I don't have the internet. So nothing.
Yeah, she does not have the internet. She has done this business without the internet.
In my car. Yeah, in my car, everywhere. It doesn't matter. I go to my neighbors and it's really funny. I stealthy think I'm getting into her driveway and she says to me one day, she goes, you've been in my driveway the last couple of nights. And I'm like, yeah. She goes, it's okay. I want you to come over. She goes, you can come in the house. She always says that, but I don't really want to go into the house at that time of day. But little did I know that she actually sees people like that. And we live in the woods, so it's not like a lot of people. But anyway, so it's really cool because it was before 10 o'clock. I got home.
I think it was before 9.
Yeah, I was
so
so
go to bed
tired.
at 7:30. That's why this is late.
Yeah, I was really excited. But I am so tired. I don't even care if I log anything on my Teamsy. I just want to go to bed. So really, I just say, get in with your upline and trust them because my upline, they have been so awesome to me and I would have not made it this far. I will say I was in it for the business though. I am an accounting. Accounting major was my first. But I don't know. I was in it from the business right from the beginning. And I feel like as with just starting my occupational therapy, it goes with that. It's health and well-being. I still don't see why people aren't smart enough to figure it out, but you can't talk people into it, but just stay positive and smile whether they say yes or no. Teensy, one of the things he says is like if you feel like you maybe were, I don't want to say abrasive, but that's kind of the words he used, but if you feel like you maybe were pushing, apologize and say, I'm not trying to push, I just know what I have my hands on basically. And that's the way I feel about it. Some of my friends I think feel like that, and I think I might have been telling Chris today that one of my friends who was my dear friend from years, we have a lot of history together, and she made me feel really like I couldn't believe that I was even asking her about this and blah, blah, blah. And so I kind of just haven't asked her again, and I won't for a while, but sooner or later I will, because I know she needs it too. And she'll figure it out maybe someday, or her kids will, but I can only, show them what we have, and if they don't bite on, it's not my issue. Like these guys all say, we have an obligation and it is a mission. And I feel God strongly telling me, I would not have got here if God didn't want me to be here. And I really feel strongly this is where He wants me. My friends keep asking me, have you applied for an OT job yet? No, but I am this month. I am going to start looking. But I didn't feel like that's where God was calling me through the summer. And I still don't feel bad about it. I feel like that isn't where He called me. And my job is to listen. And my job is to stay in His word, and He will guide and direct my path. So that's it.
I love it. We have one last little thing, and I will get you out the door by 9. I want you to be able to come back tomorrow morning. We have an exciting day tomorrow at 8:30 start. Come at 7:30 to have shakes and make shakes and whatever else you want to do here. You can come at 7:30 or 8. But anyway, it's going to be a fun day. But I have one last little thing. Harriet Salser is my sponsor, and she's kind of been my mentor through this whole business. And she has a group. She has lots of NMDs, but she has a group called the Eagles Club, and it's for people that are basically, in a nutshell, at the qualifying senior sales coordinator. So where Cindy has been. So once you get to that level, then it's a special invitation group that gets to be on a call. She has a lot of leadership stuff, but really, really neat stuff. And it's just a real special group. So Monday night, we will be celebrating promotions and so forth that have been happening on our teams, because we're all going together. So my eagle, my one, is Cindy Dice, and I'm so proud of her. So you need to come here, because I have special instructions, and I want everyone that's watching to be able to see. So on Monday night, on the call, everybody's going to open their box. Isn't that cool? And you get to open up and see everything that's in it.
So I'm not opening it tonight.
You're not allowed to open it tonight, right?
You are? You can show me.
No,
No, you can't show me.
I can't show
Okay.
you.
Can you show me?
I'm just going to show you one thing, because I just wanted to give it to you so bad. I want to do it in person. But this is a little keychain that has the charms of qualifying senior sales coordinator.
This will be easy to find in my purse.
And senior sales coordinator. So it's just it's a memento that I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
And so I just am really, really excited to open the rest of your box. But Mickey, you'll have to watch her. She's not allowed to open it until Monday night. But there are some others in here I'm super excited about. So I love you, and I'm so proud of you. So grateful to you.
Chris has done an amazing job of coaching me and mentoring me, and Jeff's probably had to hear what a poor student I was a lot of times. Anyway, she's been so faithful and there for me all the time. Through all the, I don't want to do this.
It's been really fun.
It has.
Really been fun, and it's not over.
Yeah.
We got other places to go yet.
And so do you.
Yes.
That's what you need to know. I'm excited for you, Steve. I am really excited for you. Just the little tiny bit that you shared when you introduced yourself. This is a great opportunity. And I just want to say too, I am so proud of Mickey and Aleda just for consistently being faithful, because I heard from the very beginning, just stay in line. Don't get out of line and you will get there. And so they are in line, and Lisa's in line, and so are you. So Don't get out of line, you will miss it.
And you heard it from the best, so. So this is the deal. Tomorrow morning, kitchen will open at 7:30. You're welcome to come, and you don't have to be here at 7:30, but I will be. And you can make shakes or whatever you want to do. We're gonna start this at 8:30. And I do have coffee, if you'll make it. I do have coffee if you'll make it.
She's the
Okay.
best one.
I don't need it.
Well, then,
I don't either.
so we'll start at 8:30. We're gonna leave at 12:30 to go downtown to the Cohatch. It's a really cool, like, warehouse food court feel. And then Jan's team will join us at some point. And then I don't know what the weather's gonna be like, and we'll just have to see what we wanna do tomorrow. We've got options. We can go to Cedarville and walk around there. We can go to the Gorge if some wanna go there and others wanna go to Cedarville. If it's just, I don't know, but, and then tomorrow night's gonna be really fun, because we're gonna just kick back and Aleda has a special Honduran meal that she's going to
Wow.
share with us. I'm so excited. And
Don't get
so,
too excited. It's very simple and it's
It's flavorful, I trust.
well, yeah, but anyway, I'm so glad that Chris is also having an option A for my option B, right?
yes, I am. I'm having,
Yes.
I got some really good vegetable soup.
Yes, that's what I understood. But I came prepared and and I'll be happy to do that because I'm really excited about it, but it's very nothing that you will, I don't want you to be shocked and like, I was expecting something different. Anyway, it's, you will think of a burrito, if I can tell you anything, but it's a very special Honduran thing. It's special for me and my family.
Different than Mexican.
Yeah, that's what I'm really excited about that. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Wow.
And let's just, I just would like to close in prayer real quick. Father, thank you so much for a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for safety on the road for all these folks. And Lord, I just pray that we would get really good sleep tonight. But Lord, take these words that have been shared tonight from Jamie and Duana and Janet and different ones, Father, that you would just use that in our hearts to be able to serve the people in our sphere of influence and in that ministry that you have called us to, in just helping people even for generations. So Father, we thank you for tonight. Thank you for what's going to happen tomorrow. And again, we ask for your safety and just health for those that couldn't be with us tonight. And we just want to praise you, Lord, and glorify you for your abundant goodness to us. And just the privilege of being in association with a 50-year-old company with the integrity and quality that is stamped all over them. We're just so grateful. And thank you for Cindy, Lisa, for every single one in this room. We just want to praise you for blessing and for opening the windows of heaven. We just are grateful. In Jesus' name, amen. All right.
Cindy, do I need to tie this up so you don't open it?
I want to tie it back up.
Yeah.
Really long. You can show all of it if you want.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I can
Nice to meet
probably.
you guys.
to meet you too.
I'll have to hide it and monitor it.
I'll send you my suitcase.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
That's right.
I learned a lot. I learned a lot here.
It's gonna be
Nice to meet you.
It's gonna be really good tomorrow. There'll be a lot.
Oh,
A lot of really.
tomorrow?
Training.
Well, that pause.